Before I get into the specifics of today, which is the anti-Catholic nature of the colonies, I'd like to just share a little thought with you regarding St. Paul and St. Luke. If you'd like to understand the flow of St. Paul's writings, you should first read St. Luke's Acts of the Apostles. St. Luke was a physician. He was very organized in his thoughts. As a matter of fact, he wrote the Gospel of Luke, obviously, and then transitioned right into the Acts of the Apostles. He says at the beginning of the his Gospel, that there's all kinds of crazy things out there, and this is nuts and everything else. So we're going to put this down in order and go straight from the beginning, straight through the end. And so St. Luke's writing is very organized, it's very ordered, and he keeps that same template in the Acts of the Apostles as well. So once St. Paul comes onto the scene in the Acts of the Apostles, he traces the entire missions of St. Paul straight across. Now, well, Mike, how come you can't just read the letters of St. Paul and follow it that way? Because when the church assembled the canon of Scripture, it did not assemble Paul's letters in chronological order. It assembled them from the largest to the smallest or the shortest. So they are completely out of chronological order. But if you want to read St. Paul's travels and all of that in their order of what actually happened in the history of it there for that 30 years, that's St. Luke. He gets right up to just before Paul is put in chains and arrested. Another point to bear in mind if you happen to be reading St. Paul is Protestant ministers will go out of their way to insist that the letters, the later letters of St. Paul to Timothy, to Titus, are not actually authored by him. Say, oh no, that's just somebody who knew St. Paul, it wasn't really him and all of that. Why would they want to do that? Sort of deflect the authorship, because inside those letters is the entire beginning of the apostolic tradition and succession. He says to Timothy, I laid hands on you. And it's the laying out in Scripture of apostolic succession, which of course Protestants have to deny. The later letters are written when he's in prison, and he says multiple times in them, I am in chains. I am here in the bowels of this prison suffering for you. Those letters, that period of St. Paul, which is the very end of his life, last 2 or 3 years, that stuff is not in St. Luke's Acts of the Apostles. St. Luke takes us right up to just before he's arrested. But then if you want to get a really nice flavor of the mind of St. Paul as he knows he's facing death, and that's the point, he knows he's going to be executed. Takes a couple years for the justice system to work, even in the Roman Empire. But he's in jail, he's in prison, he's in chains, and this is what he is reflecting on as he gets to the end, near the end of his life. So the beautiful line, my life is being poured out like a libation. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. He's reflecting on his entire conversion experience all the way up now to the end. So just a little, since we are doing history, figured we'd go back a couple thousand years and we'd talk about we were there first. I mean, we were really there first. That was us back then 2,000 years ago. All right, so interesting, if you look out the windows of the ship and we see Bar Harbor, Maine, this whole region, Nova Scotia, all of this area was referred to in those colonial days and those initial settlement days as Acadia. And it was here in this particular region and up and down, further up and down, that the British Protestant English and the Catholic French really duked it out a lot. This land over the course of roughly 100, 150 years changed hands about 1,000 times.